Greetings, fellow Jeffs. I recorded my point of view for this last week, sharing it a little bit late. Haven't had a whole lot of time to pull this together. I won't do a whole lot of talking, but I'll just do a quick run through of who I was playing, my thoughts leading into the game, etc. And then you'll be able to see my commentary as I play the games. Pulling up a screen here, quite an interesting draw, I thought, for a first round. I had rank number 2, Svalbard, and rank number 12, Pavel. I will apologize in advance, Pavel. I'm probably mispronouncing it now, even though I have now watched a couple of videos to try and work out how to pronounce your name. I have seen it around quite a bit, and I have to say it's one of the more foreign sounding names that I've tried to pronounce. I'm sorry, I butcher it so many times during the course of this video, so let me apologize in advance. Anyway, it was a lot of fun to play against you, and thanks again for the heads up on getting the game in on time. I thought that was very gentlemanly of you. So I really liked the spread that I had in terms of Seed 2 versus C12. I thought this was a great opportunity to get a feel for the varying strengths of the group. I mentioned in the video I released the other day that I really am not sure what my genuine strength in ELO is in this game. I just do not play a whole lot of duels. So I thought this would be a really great opportunity to get a feel for how I might perform over the course of the tournament. Two of the other things that I was excited about was my two countries that I had picked for moving. I picked Australia, no particular surprise there, I'm sure, for an Australian. And for my no move, I picked India, which is a country that I have dedicated a little bit of time to this year and quite enjoy playing for its diversity. In this instance, I get to play India in both of those games, and I was quite interested to see how I would perform because Svalbard's no-move main was also India, and when we did our selections, it turned out that we were going to play two no-move Indias, so I thought that was going to be a really good benchmark for how that might go for me during the tournament. I was also excited that I would get to play both my moving and no move choices against Pavel, and also his no moving choice of Canada. And I was curious to see how I would perform on Canada there as well. I will do no more chatting now. The commentary throughout the first game. I will say that before I played the Svalbard games, he played both of his games, and then I'm not sure the reason why, but he did withdraw from the tournament. I decided in the end that I'd go ahead and play through those games for the reasons I discussed above. I did those after the round was complete, and I did those without commentary. So I'm just going to append those at the end. Because there's no commentary, I might just play those through at a higher speed, and if you want to watch them, you can. And you can see those results and perhaps a little bit of discussion afterwards. So I will jump in now. Okay, to jump into what will be my first game in this. No move. It is Geoguessr Saturday. Yeah, we'll see how we go. I don't actually know how many rounds we get here, if it's 5 or 10 for this, but at least we can see that they're 1 minute rounds. Yeah, anyway, let's kick off and see how we go. 10 rounds. Okay, we appear to be in Philly. I think these northern tuk-tuks. Oh, do we have anything here? Basilan. Not seeing anything. There's probably information here that's useful. Balbalosa. Yeah, I don't know. Basilan's down here, though, right? Am I totally losing the plot? Uh, Man, I don't like it. I'm going to hedge. I'm glad I did. Yeah, it was Northern Tuk Tuk. That was silliness. Uh, yeah. Anyway, we move on. Left-hand drive, UK. Is fairly southern. To say about this one, really, but yeah, brick architecture. I assume we are not going to be Northern Ireland. Um, yeah, I think I'll just throw this somewhere fairly south. Sure, we're near Swindon. Okay, just south of Birmingham. That's fine. South Africa. Very dry. Some hills. Plenty of agriculture. 504. Can we find that? Doubtful. I mean, to my mind, we look like we're probably not too far out of Joburg. Can we find the 504, 550, 580, 540? Five forties, not up here. 510s, that's looking a little better. 509. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're actually fairly. Oh, well, he has found the 504. Well done. Well played. It's a black car. Um, yeah, I don't like this. Um, not convinced it is black car. Kind of looks like it. Uh, want to go. Want to go coal on this. This is kind of strange. It's Brazilian. This doesn't look Brazilian. Geez, I don't know. Let's assume that it is something up here. Okay, it was. Okay, we're down in that mess, which is why the soil was a bit redder. I can certainly see why Powell, sorry for mispronouncing that, went camp on that. That was a difficult round. All right, let's kick on. I guess this is what? We got English with yellow and black here. What is this? In the southern hemisphere, is this somehow Australia or New Zealand? Doesn't look that way to me. Are we America? Wow, I don't know what this is. No idea. It was Texas. Man, I can't. It looked like the sun was probably in the north, but I could not place it in Australia or New Zealand. So southern US made a bit more sense to me, but I thought I'd hedge a little bit there. That was A little bit maniacal, not going to lie. All right, kicking on. What is this? This is Peru, I guess. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, I mean, we look to me like we're probably down near the lake, the bigger lake, not that lake. Yeah, other than that, I don't just have a lot. Yeah, anyway, we'll give that a go. Yeah, both of us getting that. His guess was better than mine, but that's fine. We still have the lead going into round 7. We look like we're in the UK again. I mean, that gentleman is certainly driving left. Is that a cement? Surely not. No, surely we're just the UK. Yeah, I mean, it has a bit of a French look to it, but yeah, should be just a fairly straightforward UK, I imagine. I don't think we're Ireland, but I couldn't rule that out either. Yeah, really not sure. It was Ireland. Oh well, we are marginally closer. We kick on. US, do we have phone code? Oh, crap, not that I can read. Something 07. That's unfortunate. Shores, acres. We have mountains to the northeast and to the southeast. Looks like a Vermont plate, right? This doesn't feel like Vermont. Maybe is that ever the Washington? Like there's no way this is Vermont, right? Yeah, I mean, maybe with the US and Canadian flags there, we're just something like this, but I have no idea. It was Vermont, guys. It was Vermont. That was hellacious. And my lead becomes much narrower. Okay. Yeah, back in the US here. Got cacti, mountains, maybe a bit of mesquite. Yeah. What am I thinking here? Maybe Arizona or New Mexico. Ridges to the southeast, and it's heading in a northeastern direction. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something like this. Well, I got the state, but it was much further over. One round to go. Oh dear. We're in the north. Second gen. This is kind of diabolical. This looks like the sort of coverage you either know or you don't. I mean, I think we have to run Europe on this. Santo. I mean, that kind of sounds Spanish. You can get some second gen coverage in Spain. Yeah, look, I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. I'm hedging. Glad I did. It was Italy. That was a little cheeky, but we take it. So some pretty diabolical rounds there, or a couple of at least one major mistake. I called the Delaware as the Vermont rather plates, and I just the mountains there to the east with the Canadian flag. I mean, it's obviously Vermont's on the border there, but yeah, I really, really threw that one. Um, yeah, otherwise, I mean, what really won that for me was getting the Columbia. Um, uh, Picked up 3,000 points on that. I mean, that I may still have won narrowly. No, I really doubt it. Uh, I mean, I guess I was narrowly ahead. Otherwise, a lot of pretty close rounds, a few better guesses from Pavel. I'm going to learn how to say that before my next game. Um, but otherwise, yeah, I also feel like I threw on that very first round. Glad I kept my crap together after that. They were northern tuk-tuks. I thought I saw something that reminded me of a southern province. But anyway, first game's in the bag. We will kick on. Okay, next of the no moves is a balanced AI Gen India, 1 minute per round. Let's give it a go. Again, 10 rounds. Boxcar. Lots of brick. I mean, we're obviously up north. It's not clear to me if we are Uttar Pradesh sort of area. Bit of reddish soil, which probably pushes me a little more to the east. I'm getting no real pole infrastructure though. We could, yeah, it's a bit challenging. I probably am going to hedge on this one, to be honest. Let's stay Uttar, but maybe in here. Oh, sweet. Excellent. King on. Black car. Red brick. Not getting much of anything off of. So we have thin metal holes here. But yeah, that's not really doing anything for me, to be honest. Yeah, not confident in this one, I'm afraid. I'd probably run a similar region. It really looked like this area down there, and it does make sense. Boxcar does travel through Maha. I couldn't make much of the poles, but yeah, thin metal poles do exist in Maha, so that was very poor. Oh well, we kick on. It should just be fairly straightforward. Rajasthan, I imagine. Not much to say about this. Sort of looking to see if we got any Gujarati poles or anything like that. Could be Gujarat still. I'll stay southern. Great guess there by Pav. Lots of palm action. 4th gen. removes some of the meta. We've got plenty of milkweed, but we can get that north and south. We're quite flat. Umbrella meta, anyone? Yeah. I'm tempted to go further south on this one with red soil and flat. I might try Telangana here, away from the mountains. I could also see us up in Odisha, West Bengal. Similar idea from Pav. Yeah, missed that one. Again, we should be west. We look Raj again, I would say. A little wetter over here, actually. Might push me inland a bit. Yeah, try something like this. Not bad. It's Haryana in the end. All right, kicking on. Interesting tuk-tuk. I do not know what to do with it, though. Incredibly green. I mean, is that an electric tuk-tuk? Hard to tell. We do have red brick here. This is pushing me north then, I would say. To read more about those later on. Probably have to come pretty east then. Maybe in here. Not too bad. All right, on we go. Okay, probably just West Bengal, yeah, with all of this nonsense. Sri Mayapur, Nadia. Doesn't actually mean anything to me, I'm afraid. Yeah, no idea. Got a decent lead at this point. Probably not going to waste a lot of time on this. Not that I have a lot of time. That's fine. Sure. All right. And on to round 8. Red car. Rocky. Can't tell how dark the soil is there. I mean, we've got this weird Gujarati style cacti, whatever that's called. So I'm probably gonna just whack myself somewhere in here and call it a day. Yes, decent guess. All right, moving on. Looks like we got Madhya Pradesh pole top. Of course, we don't have boxcar in Madhya. That makes sense. Yeah, very little else to write home about on this one. It's pretty dry. It's not very mountainous. I could see us being further west, but I mean, Madhya is just such a big state too. Maybe I head central. It was about as far north as you can go. Sure. All right, keep on. Got some thatch. Very flat. What is this? I don't really know what to make of this one. You know, there are elements here that I could even see up towards Assam, but I don't think so. I think we're much more likely to be in closer to the Ganges. Could it be south? Maybe. I don't know where I'd put that though. I'd probably try something like this. Yeah, further east. Yeah, that's the end of that one. That was pretty comprehensive. I don't feel like I played amazingly. There were some big misses, but I think for the most part I played pretty logically. And this map was my choice, so I certainly hoped to have performed better, and I did fine in taking that one out. So we kick on. I might jump straight into Canada. Okay, we in no move again. Balance Canada. This one is Powell's map, and I neglected to learn how to pronounce his name or her name. I will do that after this, if I can remember. Anyway, I am interested to see how I go on this. I have historically not been amazing at Canada. I have done a little bit of work a couple of months ago, so I'm know certainly the basic metas. I wouldn't say I'm fantastic, but if it's a famous road, I might get it. And if some basic metas there, then I should be fine as well. But that does not mean that I'm going to consistently get the state. I just hope I don't make any very foolish mistakes, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, let's kick it off. Okay, we are facing the road. Certainly not BC, so I imagine we are just going to be in New Brunswick here. Does that make sense? I think it does. Yeah, not much to say about that. We'll give it a go. Hopefully this is fine. Sure. Felt like it could be coastal, but I did not have the confidence to go right by the coast. Did more of a hedge. Paid off. Okay, we have double lines. We have English. Can't say I like this round. Second gen, which, yeah, this isn't clear to me at all. I think we're East Coast, but it wouldn't surprise me if I'm wrong. Do I try Nova Scotia? I think I do. We'll see how we go. Was Nova. We both got Nova. Had a Cape Breton there. I mean, it was kind of hilly. I can see that vision, and yeah, I hedge a little bit better. Okay, very dry. Don't know what these bollards are about. That probably means something to my friend. I mean, I think we are probably going to be in BC here. Thick single black top. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're crazy north though. It's kind of dry and dirty. This makes me sort of think more Kamloops than anything else. We'll see what we can do. I've got nothing better. Further south than I thought, but the vibe was fine. We continue. New Brunswick 505. That may be helpful. And 475. Okay. Five oh five 475. Sixes, fives, 470, 475. There's the 505. We're on the 505. We just this? Yeah, I guess so. Fraction up. Sweet. And I assume he got a 2. He did. All right, kicking on. Slightly blue. I mean, I don't know what that is, though. I usually associate that blue sailing ship one to be Nova Scotia, but maybe that's not what it is, or maybe we've got someone visiting. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts would be that this is just Ontario, right? We got front plates. That checks out. We got English. Could be wrong, but it's going in. Not seeing any particular road angles there that makes sense. Be slightly better, but who knows? It's actually much further north, so pub's a bit closer there. Okay. Wow, this is barren but hilly. What does one do with this? Surely Great Plains, surely we're in, I would think, it's very cold, it's been snowing, but I guess this landscape I'd usually associate with this area around here. Yeah, I don't know, somewhere in here, hedge. It was between us. It's fine. Kick on. Looks like we're in BC again. Look fairly north. Yeah, quite north, I would say. Yeah, don't know where exactly I would put this. Could be anywhere else. I, yeah, I don't know. I come north. Let's try something like this. We don't really have water there. That doesn't make sense, but we don't have a lot of time. It's probably an okay hedge. No idea. Okay, it was Yukon. It's kind of expecting second gen, but I know they do have some newer stuff on the 4, but 5 wasn't too far off, so we continue. I thought Ontario. Not seeing anything to confirm. There's no front plate there. It could certainly be Quebec. Maybe I lean in that direction. Yeah, I don't know. I could be way off base, but I'm thinking somewhere in this mesh. Whoa, NB. Okay, that was my biggest throw of the game, and that puts my friend right back into it. He had an excellent region guess there. Oh, okay, well, we kick on. Game remains interesting. Some mountains here, but I don't think with the corn that we would be dealing with anything Alberta way. This, well, that's significant though, right? Oh, I don't like this. Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was that we would be somewhere in here with these mountains. Can those mountains be big enough? Maybe. Oh, this could be a massive throw. I don't know. I'm coming in here. Well, I threw the last one. Let's throw it again. No. Yeah, I mean, again, it's with some slightly higher mountains. I would have gone there if it didn't just feel more like Quebec to me. So that was pretty lucky. All right, we continue on. Now we're in the plains. Sask poles. We feel south. We do not have road numbers that I can see. I don't imagine there'll be just a massive difference between us on this. Uh, sure. A bit further north. We're both south, but that's fine. That's game. I played pretty well, I would say. I mean, really, I'd say there's only the one main throw, which was the Quebec on New Brunswick. Um, the Yukon was probably gettable, but I didn't trust the camera gen. Otherwise, it was a pretty close game on most rounds. Could have gone either way. But yeah, that Alberta versus Quebec was the decisive round there. Anyway, pleased with that result, and we move on. Okay, doing the only moving game of this particular round. This is my moving country. I already have regrets for picking it before I even play a game. But anyway, more about that another time. I have played 3 games of the round so far. I've won all 3, so that does take a little bit of pressure off me on this. And certainly the final game, which will be the NMPZ side trekker, which should be absolute mayhem. So yeah, I don't have to feel too much pressure now, which is nice, but I would still like to perform well on my own country and my own pick here. But I mean, in all reality, even intersection Geoguessr can be anywhere in Australia, and the roads can be so long and incredibly rural that it can still be a bit of a shit show, for lack of a better term. All right, anyway, I will kick this off. Okay, should be Western Australia. We've got red car, brown soil. Guess I'll go for a wander down the road. I imagine that it's quickly becoming clear to everyone why I despise moving generally as a game mode. Yeah, the Australian distance from the Google servers is just, it makes it, to my mind, almost unplayable. Like my screen just blacks out, it's blurry, it is so slow. I feel like folks can travel, distance, almost 3 times the speed that I can do it, at least when I watch the European players play, for instance. So again, although I picked this mode, I really don't think I'm going to get much of anything on here. Again, I'm not feeling just a ton of pressure. Should be WA. Could it be anywhere else? I mean, I guess it could. The red car does exist in other states, of course. On this sort of round, I would say it's more common in WA, especially with the soil. I just don't think it really makes sense for anywhere else. Maybe I can confirm with the number plate. Probably we have the WA strip across the top. So anyway, I think we're probably just somewhere down here. Maybe, we'll see. Bit further up, that was fine. We've got a Darwin guess there. If a player doesn't play a lot of Australia, then these rounds can just be brutal, especially with no info. Okay, I mean, this immediately struck me as southern, probably Victoria. Information's probably findable here. We will try. Okay, have an intersection. Whoa, steady there. Mossvale. Ah, well, there you go. This is New South Wales. Actually, my aunt and uncle live in Barrel, which is 5 kilometres to the north here. We should be just south west of Sydney. Where are we? There we are. Barrel 5, Mossvale 5. This road is Erridge Park, and we're on Mossvale Road there. Let's see. So we coming from the east, some sort of, who knows what the heck that is, but right before the curve, that'll be this deal, I imagine. So that's, is that a road up there? Maybe. And we are right next to some houses here. I mean, we should just be in here, right? Sure. Sweet, got the 5K. Got the right state there by Pav. But yeah, some home ground knowledge coming in pretty clutch there. All right, kicking on. Got Victorian utility poles there with the insulators jutting out to the side. Got some mountains, it looks like, down to the south-southeast. Nothing particularly large. Oh, we've got some bumpy stuff just north of us there too. Getting Vic feels fairly straightforward here, from the landscape, even without the utility poles. Just the cooler climate, the variety of vegetation as well, which is a little more indicative of that too. But it's not always easy to guess exactly where you are. I have no idea what that says. Corangamite Shire, that's great. I have no idea what or where that is. Yeah, look, I'll probably head in here somewhere, but in reality, I think we could be anywhere along that stretch. This could be a dodgy guess. We do get some little mountainy deals going on here. The Grampians run north-south there, but could we even be over here? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I've got the lead. Yeah, that was fine. Great guess there by Pavel as well. Well done. Okay. Are we back in WA here? Potentially. No, we are probably in South Australia, although you can get that elsewhere. Coolamon, is that down here? Am I making shiz up? Probably. Coolamon and Aria Park. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, this feels slightly cooler climate, despite the red soil, which makes me think we are closer to the Vic border over here. I think you can bleed those cement poles into Vic and New South Wales as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. This country is brutal, though. There are, like, I'd say I'm a fairly decent Australian player, but the amount of times I click East Coast when we are a strange pocket in WA is unbearable, and I'm concerned that I'm about to do that again right now. The soil is so red. Ugh, oh crap. I don't know. It was NSW. Oh, well done. Found that Pav. That brings him well back into contention. I probably should have done a little better looking for information instead of gas bagging. But yeah, I mean, again, red soil made sense there. Um, hmm, yeah, I'm not going to go looking for anything though. That was fine. Ah, final round. Um, Sure. Again, red car on that last round. It just felt like that area of Perth. So that was fine. 19K on this map is decent, but far from excellent. Of course, we threw on that NSW round, um, but there were some challenging rounds in there. Yeah, oops, I was trying to see where have uh, lost out on that one. There we go. Yeah, that round there. I think the first round, and then of course that final round where reasonably with the soil colour etc. went South Australia on WA. Those were really the ones of pivotal import. But anyway, that was fine. We kick on to the final round, the NMPZ. Okay, on to the final game. We have the NMPZ on Side Trek, which I figured I'd leave to the end. Didn't know how I'd perform in the first four games, and figured that if it was on balance and this game made all the difference, then it might be one fun to leave it to the end. Sidetrack is absolutely diabolical at the best of times, or can be. So I also thought it would relieve a little bit of pressure if this was a deciding game. But I've performed pretty decently. I've taken out the first four games, so no pressure on this. This will be more fun than anything else, and hopefully not too embarrassing. But we'll play it and we'll see how we go. 10 rounds. Okay, immediately this already feels disastrous. Um, yeah, I have no idea. I considered South Africa. Um, oh, geez, I don't have much time. Could be Australia too, I have no idea. Uh, okay, it was South Africa. We both got it. Excellent guess by uh, Pavel, which I cannot pronounce for the life of me. I did look it up, and I need to practice it more than the couple of times I did. So I'm not going to say that again. I'm going to call you Pav. Excellent guess there, by the way. Um, ooh, don't know what this is. I assume we're in Asia. We should be Northern Hemisphere. Um, I don't know. We got some blue roofs. I wouldn't say. Oh, and some red here. Could be Vietnam. Could be Cambo. Could be Thailand. Um, I'm going to hedge between them. It was Thailand. We both went Cambo. Okay. India, I believe. Um, don't know where I would put this. We don't have standard milkweed, so I'd I'm not like immediately drawn to like Rajasthan, and we look like we've got a plantation of sorts there. So I could also see some more southern desert. I'm probably just going to hedge, you know. Um, yeah, let's do that. Wow. I don't know how you get West Bengal on that one. So well done getting pretty close there, Pav. I don't get that round. Ooh, what is this? I have no idea. I can't even tell where the sun is. They look like European roofs. I don't know where I would put that though. Jeez, could even be like New Zealand, you know. Um, I, gee, I have no idea. Lux. I mean, it did have black roofs. Didn't consider it. That makes sense. Again, quite a good guess there by Pav. He takes a significant lead at this point. Um, Ukraine or Russia? I think. Don't know which way I lean. Could be either. Could be something else. Yeah, I don't know. Was Russia, and somehow I got the 5K. I mean, region seemed possible, but I won't lie, I was very much hedging for the Ukraine border, and that by complete fluke is my best guess of the whole games set of games against Pav. Gite Hushtin. I don't know what language that is. It's not Germanic. We've got eucalypt here, which is interesting. Well, you have a northern Spain. It doesn't feel like it. Oh, this is awful. I wouldn't ever do that, I don't think. Um, we were just outside of Bordeaux. Um, yeah, oh well. What can I say? Take what you can. UK or Canada? Not clear to me which. Um, really don't know. Probably going to come up here just to hedge for Canada. I can see Canada, you know. It was UK. Pub went Canada. As I say, I could completely see it, and we were in Kentucky. Sure. NZ, mountainous, which is much of NZ. I really don't have a read for this on whether we are North or South Island. I lean South Island with very little confidence. Uh, that was a pretty great guess in the end. 52K's out, and we take the lead. And this looks to me, it's either Mex or Colo, I think. Um, we don't have yellow plates, so kind of got to lean Mex. Is it ever like a Panama or something? Could be. Um, I don't know. Don't know. It was Panama. Um, yeah, played that what I thought was being a little more safe, but yeah, whatever is what it is. Final round, and I have no idea what this is. Mountainous. Are we corn? Probably. Um, dark soil. I don't know what this is. I probably run. It could be Thailand. Could be Mexico. I don't know which. Going Mexico. It was Thailand. Well, yeah. Anyway, A little disappointed that I named the 50-50s for me really on the last two rounds and picked them incorrectly. But well done to Pav on that game. Well played. Yeah, so those were my games against Pavel. Pretty pleased with that outcome. First game of the tournament and all. Yeah, felt pretty comfortable through the course of that. A little bit of nerves, but overall, for the most part, I felt like I was in the driver's seat for most of those games. I think having the India and the Australia as my mains there made that a lot more comfortable. Um, I was pleased that I felt on top of those. The Canada game was probably the one that I take the most joy in that that wasn't my main mode, and I felt like I played a really solid game. Um, I feel like Pavel did as well. In fact, on the Canada, there was really only that one round that could have changed things. And yeah, I just happened to make the right call on that one. But otherwise, that felt really good. Um, yeah, losing that final game, that I was a little disappointed in the couple of mistakes there I made in the last two rounds. It's mostly the Thailand, the Mexico guess on Thailand. I think 5 more seconds and I would have committed to Thailand on that one, and I would have taken that game. But that's the nature of NMPZ, and Pav played quite well in that game himself. So yeah, really pleased to take that game out 4-1. Um, I'm not going to throw in commentary at the end of the Svalbard game. I'm just going to put this in now. Yeah, I'm interested if you follow through and take a look. Considering that Svalbard was the second seed, I actually found that game a bit smoother than the one against Pav. Um, Part of that, I think, was having the two India no move, and I played uh, one decent game and one really strong game, I think, on the India. Um, I felt really in control there, and yeah, I think for the most part, I got through all of those games without too many blunders. Um, Sval did make a number of blunders in those. I'm not sure why he left the competition. I don't know if he was having a bad day, and he didn't perform well in my games. I don't know how he went against. I'm not sure who he played against in the other one, and or if he withdrew for completely different reasons. But I will say that Pav played. Potentially stronger than what his seed suggested, and probably the reverse for Svalbard on his games there. And I was really pleased to take those out 5-0. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I'm feeling quite good and comfortable about the choices I made on my mains. I feel like it wasn't a complete shit show on the Skewed World, and whatever the other NMPZ one is that I can't remember now, Side Quest. They were actually a lot of fun to play, a little bit stressful, but I had some mixed results there with those, but they were quite enjoyable. I really looking forward to the rest of this tournament. I feel like I have quite a good opportunity to perform well. But even if I don't, it will make for a good week. The other disappointing part about Svalbard dropping out is with a 4-1 and a 5-0, at least for week one, I would have been on the top of the table. And I could rest on my laurels potentially for 1 week with that. But as it stands, I believe I'm third in our group at the moment, but that's just on the back of one game that's counting, so it's a good start. we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But I hope you enjoyed the game if you've watched this far, the games if you've watched this far. I know I missed a bunch of things. I did make several errors. If you feel like chiming in on some things that I missed, especially if you're a higher ranking player, I'd love to hear that as well. Anyway, thanks for following along with me. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.